Well, today's video we rebuilt a brick porch, and the owner had to go all over, even different states, looking for the brick to match it, because once they make brick, they only do it for so long and they stop making it. So he got the best he could to rematch it. But there's 4 videos going to come out of this. The 2 sets of steps, the stoop on top, and the regular brickwork. So we're going to talk about what caused it at the end and what we did to remedy it, and we'll go from there. So here we go. Well, today they're going to rip down this whole section of brickwork. And brickwork in Pennsylvania, when it gets wet, doesn't last. It falls apart. So first we're going to look at the brickwork, and then we're going to talk about what goes on. Now, this is one of the reasons brickwork is disappearing in Pennsylvania. The water comes over the side, it gets into the brick, it all falls apart. This is all falling apart. So, can't really do much about it. You look down in here, it gets wet, the brick blisters. You can see down in here it all fell apart. The water gets in there, everything falls apart. So they're gonna rip this whole thing down. I'm going to come over when they are. Okay, the owner's just doing a little exploratory thing here. This is an old set of steps, but he's starting to rip it out just to see what's under it. Then he's going to go from the top and start working his way down. Okay, we're checking this out again.
Everything got under, the water got under here. I got to take everything out. You see how easy that came up? That's because the water flows underneath it.
Right.
I have no choice. I thought I could do less, but I got to take everything out of here, so that's what I'm doing.
Yep, this was an old set of concrete steps, and they just capped them, went over them. But northeastern Pennsylvania, anytime water gets in something, you're done. Well, I keep stopping by to see how the project's going. Looks like you got a lot of stuff ripped out here. There's those old steps. I think it might be a good idea to get rid of them block, but we'll see what he says. I keep stopping by to see how the progress is going. So let's look what's going on. We got to put all this brickwork back. He's got the brick right here. He's salvaged everything he can get. This side of the building, he wants to leave it there because the water didn't get to it. So we're kind of going to jury rig everything. But the first thing you do, and listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Don't use any rulers. You lay it out dry. See, I know that's my first step. Second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step, sixth step. And I'm looking at this, I'm wrong already. So here's why we lay it out dry. You got 7.5, 7.5, 6.5, 8, 7. Down here, I only got 5.5. Why is that? Because I forgot there's another brick goes here. So all these have to be raised. That's why we lay it out dry, so we don't make those mistakes. I can't preach that big enough. Lay everything out dry, look at it, make sure you're right, and then continue. Now, if you see the stick and the brick, I laid the brick out dry. Same thing. And I got a story pole. See that? That shows you where my brick is. Every brick. So I know when I'm going this way with my brick where it's all going to end up. Now on the back side of my story pole, we go over here, and down here I have everywhere where those bricks go. 21 courses, you see? I have all the marks of where my brick goes. And then when I'm working on the other side, I know if I'm right or I know if I'm wrong. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build up the corner here and go that way. So first thing I got to do is I chip these bricks off to make it fit. You see that? show you what we're going to do with these other bricks later on. We stick that one right in there, just like that. And got to do that a little bit. No reason for holes in bricks. I told you that before. The only reason they put holes in bricks is because it's easier to ship. I'm building my corner out so I could basically see where I'm going. Then I'm going to lay it out dry on the bottom. And then put a line up down like this, and I could follow the line. On the bottom, I gotta kind of build this up, so I'm just using some broken stone. How come we're not using brick is you have to be cutting them. We're not going to be doing that. I'm going to lay this out. Stone is better than brick anyway. So, getting some pieces of stone. This. So okay, now I got my height and I laid them all out dry. You see what I mean? Everything here is laid out dry.
Just leave it there.
Because I want to make sure when I end up with a full piece, and then I adjust my brick to make sure it works. So now I got my two ends up. I put the string in between. I'm laying my brick on the line. So I got the whole bottom laid out now. After this course, I'll be good. So we're laying the brick, and laying the brick is the easy part. Anybody can lay brick. Once you get the techniques down, everybody can lay brick. Problem is making sure that everything works out the way you want to. Now I have the story pole, but I also got to make sure that I'm going level here. See? Because I got to follow what they did last time. Here's my story pole. And I'm looking at, where did it go? It's on the other side. And I'm looking at how I'm doing with the story pole. I'm pretty much right on. That's my 6th course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the bottom. So I'm good there. I'm following everything. I already got, you can't see it, but here's where the old brickwork was. So I'm just following that. I know I'm good. Now that's it. I'm just gonna continue on with my brickwork. Just like that. Over here. Put the line on this side. that. No big deal. And then just lay my brick. No big deal. It's only brickwork. It's not rocket scientist. You're not going to get a master's degree from anybody laying brick. What you do is you put the cement down like this. Put your brick in. Keep going. That's it. Well, if you notice, I got a line. You see the line? You put a line up, you line it up with the outside of the wall, and then you do your level on this side, like that, and you should be okay. It's hard to make mistakes with a line. I always use a line if I could. So there. You want to go with the line, just like that. We look at the other brick that we're matching. And that's how we know where we're at. And I just loosen the line up. Go figure. And go another one here. Only brickwork. Not a big deal. Whatever works. That's pretty good. You gotta go a half a brick there. That'll go like that. I want to get the same height as the other brick, just like that. That way, go this way, make sure we're going the right way. Another one on top. Get a level with bubbles in it. Okay. All right, continuing on. No big deal. It's just brickwork. One brick goes on top of the other. All I gotta want to do is make sure that we end up right. That's it. I'm just using my striker here, going over the joints. That's it. Cleaning them up. And we just get a soft brush, whatever you got, soft so you don't scrape nothing. You just kind of brush it off. I got these wall ties and I kind of bent them. You see that? That's what I'd rather do with them. Wall ties are garbage anyway. After 30 years, they rot away. But for this job like this, see, I could stick them in here like that. Then I got a couple things that's actually embedded in the wall, like that. That makes sense? And then when you're putting these wall ties in, you got to get a little bit under them too to make sure they stick good. But that's it. Force it. Don't force it. Use a bigger hammer.
Push.
Either way. Okay, I'm continuing on, and you can see how I got to do it with my steps. But I got to go over from that side, right over and they're round. So that's what I'm doing now. Now we're up to here. There's some block missing, right? So I'm gonna tie this in. Now the old timers would do what they call a bonding course. But every 6 course they go into the wall like that. But see, now in the 2021, we're using wall size metal, which is no good, but we have to follow suit. I'm using the best I can to tie this in. Lock in here, like that. That'll hold that in. And we do this bit, concrete or brickwork. That's how you tie it in. All right, we're going up with our steps. The wall's continuing. Now, when you're doing a wall, see the brickwork worked out here. See, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We got over here, not working out no more. So I had to cheat, put pieces in. From over here, I had to shorten this piece up. Now I got to shorten that piece up. So I'm cheating. I got to take a little bit off, make everything work. See that? No big deal. Not getting no trophies for this. Like I said, it's only brickwork. You see the holes? Every brick has different types of holes in them. The only reason they put holes in bricks is because it's easier to ship, it's cheaper to ship, and it's cheaper to make. It doesn't have anything to do with strength. So don't ever listen to them. Now we're getting on top, and we laid these caps down. See this? This is door wall. I think that's a lot better. I'm going to use that to go in between here. I got another piece over there. That's going to tie this all in better than those wall ties. Now we're continuing on. We got our steps in. We're doing good. Well, we're doing good so far. It's a little dirty, but we could clean that up. We're going to go over on this side, finish the brickwork, and then he filled this all in, the owner, and we're going to put our threads in and go from there. So we're finishing up on this side, and we got all our brickwork pretty much done. So from here, we're going to put our stones around and do our top. So let's look at the end results here. Those railings got to go back, but they got to get redone. And this is as far as the owner wants to go with masonry now. Maybe we'll have to come and point that up and redo some of the brick down there at a later date. But we got the porch done. Then we put these steps. These are still the old threads. We just put them back together. That's the old part that stayed. And then we put all new threads here. And when we got to the top, we did like a flagstone stoop. So there's actually going to be 4 different videos out of this. I'll leave them at the end so you could find out where they're at. So those kind of jobs, that's what I call a dog's breakfast or putting lipstick on a pig, because none of the bricks matched. Once they start making bricks 7, 8, 10 years later, you'll never see them again. And the owner went to all these brick yards, and he went to masons yards, and he went to yards out in Jersey to match the brick, and none of them match. You could see the difference in sizes. As soon as you look at it, every brick was a different size when you put it together like this. So it was a disaster. Even the ones that are the same have a little different size. You could see them. So when you're doing jobs like that, it's not going to come out perfect. You just do the best you can. And sooner or later, we might have to go back and point the rest of that up, and then we got to seal it and the rest like that. You could ask me, Mike, what made that fall apart? 85% is because the water got in it. Once the water comes in and it gets in these bricks that has holes in it, it lays in there, and in our area, it freezes in the winter and it busts it all apart. I see it time and time and time again. That's why I never put bricks face up like this when I'm laying steps. I always put the stone on top. Now how I know it had nothing to do with the type of cement it was because you go around the whole rest of the building Any brick that didn't get any water laying on it continuously was perfect. A lot of guys say, well, it's because of lime mortar, but if you come in our area, use lime mortar, it'll fall all apart. When I first got in the union in the 80s out in New Jersey, I remember all these guys, they were out there with the rulers and the levels and the scopes, and they're figuring out the brickwork, right? Everything they did was wrong anyway. I told them, all you gotta do is lay it out dry. If you ever seen my videos on the brick masons of China, I went in there and I watched these guys lay brick. That's what the old timers used to do. Lay everything out dry, use a story pole, drop a line. You're never gonna have a problem. You're never gonna be wrong. So if you ask me what I use, what kind of cement, I didn't show it because I show it all my videos. I just use 1 part S mortar to 2 parts sand. If I use anything less in my area, down at the bottom, snow's gonna get in there and it's gonna fall apart. I've been doing it 50 years, so I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. So that's it. I hope you get something out of these videos. I got 3 more videos out of that. I went and I redid the front steps, and then I went and I redid the side steps, and then on the very top we did like a stone stoop. So there's 3 more separate videos coming out of this. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope it helps you in some way and it saves you a lot of money. He just wanted to patch it up because he wants to sell the house down the road, and he wants it right. So that's as close to right as we can get. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike Haduck. I'll see you next video.